Yes.
This is for all y'all. When you ask most people what they want to be in the entertainment industry. And since you guys are already in that, what are your other dreams?
Hopefully one day, you know, find a nice girl and you know, buy a house and have some kids. That would be, you know, make my mama happy. That's that's like a normal life, and everyone's like, oh, he wants the normal life. That's cute. It's not happy though. It's cute. Hopefully one day, I don't know. We'll see.
I guess I'm living my dream right now, so I'm hoping it all takes off eventually, and I don't know. I mean, way down the road, I hope I can look back and say, I did it. It worked. Hey?
That's a good thing.
Definitely that.
I can't match those two. Those are good answers. Probably the same. You know, I have my family. I have my little girl. I just want to make sure I, you know, set a good example. Whatever. I can't talk about it. Just be nice and, you know, share. Actually, I guess what it would be, the other dream would simply be to find other ways of being an artist. Like you have music. Maybe I'd like to write and yeah, just maybe write a short story or write a novel or write a script where I'm giving other people a chance to share the dream that I had. I think that would be it. To collaborate and to take it to a different level with others, inspire me.
Kimbra, you said you went to college. What did you go to college for?
Just business. I have a BBA in human resource management. Yeah. Have I ever worked in corporate America? No.
You're not missing anything.
That's definitely not my dream.
With all your roles that you guys have done, do you ever take anything away? Like, word was Heath Ledger really got into the Joker character, and you basically lived it in real life. Do you guys find that Jasper or any other role affects your real life?
Not too much for me, thank God, because I put some stuff. I was taking Amanda around. Yeah. Great. Just kind of like sit there at the bar and suddenly. It's fun to do now. Let the group people out. The hat helps too. No, it's one of those things, you know, if I play dork, I'm always cracking jokes about it because, you know, I like to have that levity, you know, kind of, you know, because it's one of those things, you know, you're playing a dark character, you're not supposed to think that you're playing like a, you know, a bad person. You're supposed to think that you're doing the right things, or, you know, maybe you feel guilty about certain things or whatnot. But I've actually been blessed. My teacher, Jeremiah, taught me that basically you can take everything from what's going on in your life and really apply it if you kind of just, you know, like really think about it and kind of like refocus the energy of certain things in your life. And so I've just kind of found moments where I've been like, well, I'm frustrated as hell with the world right now, and just, you know, just with what's going on, and maybe sometimes my personal life or what I feel like's going on, and, you know, like in like my friends' lives or whatever, like the way I react with my friends, or if I like had a really terrible date or something, or, you know, and it's kind of used those things to kind of bring into the performance, and it's always it's weird, man. I don't know if it's one of those things where I'm noticing it because it's happening, or if it's happening because I'm noticing it, you know. But I find a lot of parallels between characters I play and then the life I'm living at that moment while I'm playing that character. It's like all these parallels are like suddenly just kind of like popped up to me, and that's one of the things, or one of the reasons I think acting is so cathartic and therapeutic, is because it helps you like look at those parts of your life and be like, oh, wow, so maybe I'm being a complete jerk. You know, it's like one of those things. It's like, huh, my friends are right, I do suck. That was a terrible song I wrote. It's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, something will kind of pop up in normal life that really affects that. But I tend to leave the character on the set or in the makeup trailer. Boleslavsky has a book, the 10 Lessons of Acting or something. I forget what it's called, but Boleslavsky kind of came before Stanislavski. And it's basically this kind of play between the teacher and the creature. And the creature wants to be an actor, and the teacher tells the creature does this amazing performance on stage. And it's like towards the later half of this book, and the teacher's like, but then she can't. So she keeps the character with her. She's still really pissed off after the performance, and she's kind of being that character still to people. And he tells her that if you can't leave the character at home, you shouldn't be an actor. You know, if you can't leave that character on stage, it's like you can't walk away with it. If you're supposed to act. I mean, it's like it's acting, and you want to be real in moments. But you know, you're working with a bunch of people. You're gonna, it's like I've worked with method actors before, and it gets kind of annoying, I gotta say. It's like, man, everybody else is just kind of popping in and doing it. Why you gotta be a jerk to everyone just because you're being a jerk in one scene today? It's like, I don't understand that mentality. But hey, man, it's different strokes for different folks, right? So, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, yeah, the reality of it is you are working with people, and you have to find that balance. I think probably you're right. There's actors like method actors, like infamous like Sean Penn stuff. He was really rude and nasty to people. And, I think he's learned, and then he became a director, and he had a crew, and he had to make sure everybody. So it's a maturity thing. It's an education. It's a experience. I think and for myself, what happened is in the very early on when I would always see parallels between roles in my life, and now I just notice them and make sure that I separate them. I try my best to just not be that in that head so much, because it was destructive, and I would be too encompassed in the role, and I would just mess up my actual technique and the way you approach work. So you have to balance it, I think. You have to keep them separate. It's healthier to keep them separate, and I think any actor, method or not, has to get to that place because of the collaborative nature of it. Whether it's a small film, a camera and 3 actors, or 100 crew, because it's a responsibility to each other and to your role. I think it's best to be as focused as possible. Probably, right? I would think, yeah.
For me, it's about how am I going to make this apple look really good today and sell 1 million copies of this book. Pretty easy for me. No, it's funny.
Delicious. Did you carry the apple home with you?
No. No.
Oh,
I don't know what happened to the apple.
How did that whole thing happen? Where was that shot, and how did you approach it yourself, and were you told to do it differently?
Yeah, we shot it at Roger Hagedorn's studio in New York on 42nd Street. Just the small studio he has. There were just a few people there. I mean, it was me, him, his wife, I think his 2-year-old daughter. She was 2 at the time, and his assistant. So it was a really small setup. And it was just 2 hours, of holding this apple. Not this exact apple, but an apple. And we did some different variations, but they pretty much knew what they wanted when I was at the shoot that day. I mean, it was definitely about, an offering of the apple. But they were like, can you channel your hands to? After a while, I felt like they were talking just to my hands. Like, oh, I'm over here. They're like, can you make them look dead? Can they be like death-like and sweet at the same time? And sometimes, seriously, people ask you to do things with your, on a hand shoot. I'm just like, really?
Do they give you notes per finger? You're like, your pinky's a little bit sad.
Hey, you make it a little happier. Well, in this case, it was more, you need to be almost sad and depressed and death-like. So, yeah, they gave me, some direction there. It's funny because it's not like we all got to read the book first and then do this shot. It was just, they were telling us an idea of what the book was about, and then had us, pull out that shot. I don't know.
So it was before the book came out.
Yeah, we shot it in September 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, the book was finished, but it wasn't published yet. So.
We can have just one.